Have you ever wondered why ancient statues, sacred idols, and even yogic practitioners across cultures are so often depicted with their navels covered? Why mystics and healers from Egypt to India would wrap cloth or place sacred markings right at the center of the belly? This isn't merely for modesty or aesthetics. It's because they knew something we've forgotten. Something powerful. Something primal. The navel, your belly button, is not just a physical scar left behind by the umbilical cord. It is a gateway, a portal, an ancient energy center that connects you not only to your biological mother, but to the earth, the stars, and the very fabric of universal consciousness. Right now, it lies exposed in most of us. Vulnerable. Open to the chaos, noise, and spiritual pollution of the world. And that is no small thing. Because whether you realize it or not, the navel absorbs. It pulls in frequency. It registers vibrations. It acts as a receiver, and if unguarded, it can be the very reason you feel drained, anxious, or energetically scattered. But when protected, when consciously covered, nourished, or activated, it becomes a source of immense spiritual power. The kind of power that grounds your energy, amplifies your intuition, and restores the sacred rhythm of your life force. In this video, we're going to journey deep into this forgotten wisdom. We'll explore how ancient civilizations revered the navel as a sacred chakra point, how they protected it during rituals, why they adorned it with specific symbols, and what modern science is slowly beginning to rediscover about this mysterious spot. But more than knowledge, you'll walk away with tools, rituals and practices, to begin safeguarding your energy right now. So stay with me. Because once you understand the truth about this hidden portal, you'll never look at your body, or your energy, the same way again. Throughout the annals of ancient history, the navel, often overlooked in modern understanding, was revered as a sacred nexus of life and energy. In nearly every spiritual tradition that honored the human body as a temple, the area around the navel was guarded, adorned, and held in high regard. This reverence was not symbolic alone, it was energetic, rooted in profound metaphysical knowledge. In Vedic philosophy, the navel is the seat of the Manipura chakra, the solar plexus energy center, considered the fire of transformation, self-power, and will. Manipura literally translates to city of jewels, reflecting the immense energetic potency stored within this center. Yogis understood that this chakra governs digestion, not just of food, but of experience and emotion. Covering the navel wasn't just modesty, it was protection. A shield from unwanted energetic intrusion. It's why many traditional yogic practices required a cloth, belt, or waistband, something to hold the energy in, to stabilize the core, and to prevent leakage of prana, the vital life force. But this wisdom isn't isolated to the Indian subcontinent. In ancient Egyptian texts, the navel is associated with divine birth and energetic inheritance. Isis, the goddess of magic and healing, is often depicted with her midsection covered in ceremonial garments. The priests of Ra, during temple initiations, would wrap a protective cloth known as the khat over the abdomen, believing it kept the ka, the spiritual double of the soul, anchored and safe. These garments weren't decorative, they were esoteric tools. Even in Greco-Roman traditions, the navel held special significance. The word omphalos, meaning navel in Greek, also referred to a sacred stone at the Temple of Apollo in Delphi, believed to be the center of the world, the spiritual navel of Gaia herself. Pilgrims would journey thousands of miles to touch or pray before it, hoping to align themselves with the Earth's pulse. The idea of the navel as a center point, both physically and cosmically, was not metaphor, but mystical geography. In Taoist alchemy, the area just below the navel is called the Dantian, regarded as the body's energy reservoir. Taoist masters would teach disciples to store qi in this region, breathing into it, cultivating inner power. It was also customary to wear silk sashes or robes that gently wrapped around the waist, keeping this area warm and shielded. Exposure, they believed, left one open to spiritual imbalance and even psychic attack. Across traditions, we see a shared truth echoing through time. The navel is not just flesh, it is the center of being. A place of remembrance, where life first flowed from mother to child. It is the first scar we carry, marking our transition from unity to individuality. And perhaps because of that, it remains a point of great vulnerability, and great potential. But with the rise of modernity, we've stripped this area bare, both physically and philosophically. The ancient belts, sashes, and rituals that once honored the navel have been replaced by fashion trends and medical indifference. The body has become mechanical, rather than mystical. In the rush toward external progress, we forgot the sacred within. The knowledge of the navel as an energy portal was never truly lost, it was hidden, veiled beneath layers of cultural forgetting and colonial rationalism. What was once intuitive and sacred became labeled as superstition. But as we return to ancient ways, as science begins to validate what the mystics have always known, the truth begins to rise again. The navel is a key, and when you learn how to guard it, nourish it, and awaken it, you unlock an ancient map back to your center. To truly grasp why the navel is so potent, and why covering it matters, we must go beyond history and step into the energetic anatomy of the human being. The navel is not just centrally located on your physical body. It is the first point through which you were nourished, sustained, and brought into existence. It is the origin of your life force exchange. Long before your lungs inhaled air, before your heart beat its first rhythm, your energy was funneled into your form through this singular point, your umbilical connection to the cosmos through your mother. Energetically, this makes the navel not only a remnant of birth but a living, pulsating center of residual memory. In esoteric terms, it is a spiral of imprinted frequencies, your first tether to the material world. Mystics have long believed that this area stores impressions from the womb, the genetic memory of your ancestors, and even echoes of past lives. It's not just a mark of where you were connected to your mother, it's the imprint of your soul's descent into form. Imagine the body as a sacred temple, with the navel as the innermost sanctum, the chamber where the divine spark settles upon incarnation. It is where the spirit meets matter. In many shamanic and mystical traditions, energy is said to radiate outward from the navel like ripples in a still pond. When this energy center is exposed or neglected, those ripples become chaotic. Your ability to stay grounded, centered, and energetically sovereign weakens. You become more susceptible to emotional disturbances, spiritual confusion, and external influences. Consider this: have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt anxious for no clear reason? Or found yourself suddenly exhausted around certain people? In energetic terms, your navel might be absorbing energies that don't belong to you. Just as the skin protects your internal organs, spiritual traditions believed covering the navel created a barrier between your vital essence and the invisible vibrations swirling around you. In modern bioenergetics and psychosomatic studies, the area surrounding the navel is recognized as deeply sensitive. It's linked to the enteric nervous system, the second brain in the gut. The belly holds not only our digestion, but our intuition, our sense of identity, and our survival instincts. It is from here that we sense threats, pick up emotions, and experience gut feelings. Scientists now acknowledge what mystics always knew: the belly feels, remembers, and communicates. But why cover the navel, specifically? Because it is an open receiver. Just as the eyes are windows to the soul, the navel is a portal to the inner sanctum of your being. Energetically, it doesn't close the way other points do. While chakras may spin, contract, or expand based on your state of mind and environment, the navel remains sensitive and porous. Think of it like the eye of a storm, still, powerful, but exposed. In sacred rites, dancers and healers in indigenous cultures would anoint or bind the navel before entering altered states of consciousness. This wasn't superstition, it was spiritual hygiene. Covering the navel helped maintain energetic sovereignty, ensuring their field wasn't compromised during ritual. The use of fabric, sacred symbols, or protective oils served as a spiritual membrane, allowing their awareness to expand without risking spiritual invasion. Even in dreams, many astral travelers report sensations of being pulled from the stomach or seeing cords attached to their navel. In energetic terms, this suggests that the navel acts as an anchor to the body during altered states, a tether to the physical realm. And just like an anchor can either stabilize a ship or become entangled, an unguarded navel can leave you exposed to what some traditions call psychic entanglements. The bottom line is this: the navel is more than a scar, it's a portal. A place where life once entered you, and where energy still flows in and out, consciously or unconsciously. To leave it exposed is to leave a doorway wide open to the world. But when you cover it, with awareness, intention, and reverence, you begin to reclaim your energetic boundary. You close what needs to be closed and awaken what has long been dormant. This is the beginning of remembering who you truly are, not just a body moving through time, but a soul navigating the currents of energy with ancient wisdom hidden right at your core. Beyond the veil of everyday perception, the navel conceals paradoxes that challenge our modern assumptions about the body and soul. We've been taught that true power dwells in the crown chakra, or that enlightenment ascends ever upward, yet the navel insists on a different truth: that the heart of spiritual awakening can lie at our physical center. This idea puzzles many. How can something so ordinary, so overlooked, harbor cosmic significance? But therein lies the secret. Take the legend of the sun disk incarnation, whispered among Reiki masters and Taoist adepts. It tells of practitioners who, by binding their navels in golden silk, unlocked a radiance so potent that onlookers swore they saw halos of warm light emanating from the midsection. Skeptics dismiss it as myth, yet framed through energetic anatomy, it makes sense. The Manipura chakra, when fully harnessed, becomes a miniature sun, fueling willpower, digestion of experience, and the transformation of lower vibrations into high-frequency light. Another hidden layer emerges when we consider the navel's connection to the Earth's ley lines. Many geomancers describe a subtle magnetic cord that links our belly center to the planet's grid, an umbilicus as literal as any. When the navel is unprotected, this cord can fray, leaving us spiritually unmoored. Conversely, a simple cloth wrap, or even bronze amulet over the navel, can ground our energy, reinforcing this magnetic tether and aligning us with terrestrial rhythms. Myths abound that covering the navel blocks energy flow, that shielding a chakra is antithetical to inner expansion. Yet this misconception arises from misunderstanding the navel's unique nature. Unlike other chakras, its function is bidirectional, it sends and receives. Covering does not seal it off, rather, it refines the exchange. It filters out discordant frequencies, allowing only the nourishment of vitality and pranic light to enter, while anchoring surplus energy so it may be metabolized by the nervous system. There is also the curious phenomenon of navel resonance, a subtle vibration some mystics detect when two individuals stand belly to belly. Shamans liken this resonance to tuning forks. If both navels are aligned in frequency, healing pulses pass between them, harmonizing emotional wounds. Yet when one or both navels are energetically depleted, the resonance turns dissonant, triggering irritation or fatigue. Covering the navel with intention establishes a stable pitch, protecting this resonance from unwanted interference. Alternative perspectives remind us that energy isn't inherently good or bad, it's neutral, shaped by intention. Thus, the navel can be a conduit for compassion just as easily as for fear. In ancient Mesopotamia, healers anointed patients' bellies with oil and incantations to draw out fear energy, transforming it into courage. The ritual always began with covering the navel in a cloth soaked in myrrh, a symbol that the container of fear must first be held, not exposed to further chaos. Little-known botanical allies once accompanied these practices. Ayurvedic texts recommend placing neem leaf poultices over the navel to ward off negative entities. Unani healers used cumin-infused oil as a protective salve. These herbal traditions underscore the navel's chemical receptivity. What you place upon it permeates the energetic membrane, influencing how prana flows in and out. Modern herbalists now study essential oil diffusion at the abdomen for mood regulation, echoing ancient wisdom. A final paradox: in many initiation ceremonies, the initiate's navel is intentionally uncovered for a moment, to symbolize surrender to the divine current, only to be immediately covered again, marking the sealing of the sacred covenant. This ritual act teaches that vulnerability and protection are not opposites, but dance partners. True spiritual sovereignty arises in the space between opening and guarding, knowing when to receive the cosmos and when to keep your center inviolate. In recognizing these intricacies, resonance, filtering, earthly tethering, we begin to see the navel not as a passive mark but as a dynamic hub of cosmic interplay. It is here, at the crossroads of flesh and spirit, that the real work happens, the forging of soul identity, the sculpting of will, the marriage of heaven and earth. And as you embrace the hidden textures of this portal, you step into an alchemy that transforms mere living into luminous presence. Now that we've unveiled the spiritual architecture and ancient significance of the navel, the next question arises naturally: what can you do with this knowledge? How do you begin to honor, protect, and activate this energy portal in your daily life? The first step is awareness. Simply placing your attention on your navel area, gently, without force, begins the process of energetic reclamation. In a world where we are constantly pulled outside of ourselves, the act of returning awareness to your core is revolutionary. Each morning, before reaching for your phone or leaving your bed, place your right palm over your navel and breathe into it. Feel your abdomen rise and fall. This simple practice grounds your consciousness into your body, reminding your soul of its dwelling place. With time, this recentering act becomes a personal ritual, a homecoming to your own energy. But protection is equally vital. Energetic exposure at the navel can leave you feeling drained, irritable, or overly sensitive, especially in crowded spaces or emotionally volatile environments. Covering your navel during the day with natural fabrics, cotton, linen, or silk, isn't superstition, it's intelligent energy hygiene. Many spiritual traditions favored sashes, cummerbunds, or belts not only for posture but for energetic sealing. Even a waistband tied with a focused intention can serve as a protective barrier. At night, when the body is most open to astral and subconscious influence, it's beneficial to apply oil to the navel. A few drops of warm sesame oil, castor oil, or ghee massaged into the area in clockwise circles can calm the nervous system, balance the Manipura chakra, and shield against energetic residue collected during the day. This ritual, quiet, tactile, and ancient, anchors the soul into the body and enhances dream clarity. You can also amplify the protective effect using sacred symbols. Placing a thin crystal over the navel during meditation, such as a citron for solar energy, or a black tourmaline for protection, can enhance vibrational filtering. Alternatively, some mystics recommend placing a small copper coin or disc over the navel while lying down, especially during energy work. Copper conducts energy and shields against lower frequencies, acting like a lock on the portal until you choose to open it again. Mantras, too, can be directed to this center. Chanting Ram, the seed sound of the solar plexus chakra, while focusing on the navel, helps build energetic fire and clear stagnation. Imagine a golden sun spinning at your core with each intonation, burning away fear, shame, or doubt. Sound, after all, is one of the oldest tools for resonance realignment. But perhaps the most profound practice of all is intuitive listening. Sit in silence and place your palms over your navel. Ask, what is my center holding? What energy have I allowed to enter me? What needs to be released? You might be surprised at what arises. Old emotions, forgotten memories, ancestral patterns, all stored in this sacred vault, awaiting your attention. For those sensitive to energy, it may also help to cover the navel during spiritual practice or energy healing sessions. It might seem counterintuitive, but shielding your center while you expand your awareness prevents uninvited energies from entering your field during these vulnerable moments. Many seasoned healers wear a belt, wrap, or waistband specifically for this reason, not to block connection, but to regulate it. These rituals aren't dogma. They are tools. Invitations to develop a relationship with the center of your being. As you begin to engage with your navel as an energetic portal, not just a physical scar, you'll notice subtle shifts, more vitality, greater emotional balance, a stronger sense of self. You'll feel anchored in your power, less susceptible to the tides of other people's emotions or the chaos of the world. The more you cover your navel, not from shame, but from reverence, the more you guard your inner temple. And from that place, everything changes. Your perception sharpens. Your intuition deepens. Your energy stabilizes. You walk the world not as a scattered being seeking protection, but as a luminous presence, carrying the sun of your own sacred center. In a world that constantly draws our attention outward, to screens, noise, trends, and external validation, it is a revolutionary act to turn inward. To guard what is sacred. To reclaim what has been forgotten. The navel, dismissed by modernity as a mere remnant of birth, is in truth a cosmic scar, a mark left by the divine umbilical cord that once connected your soul to the source of all life. And though that cord may have been cut in the physical sense, it remains vibrationally intact, quietly humming beneath your skin, waiting for you to remember. When you begin to treat your navel not as an afterthought but as a living energy portal, everything shifts. Your awareness deepens. Your intuition sharpens. You begin to understand that you are not at the mercy of chaotic energies, but are, in fact, the guardian of your own inner temple. And like all sacred sites, your temple must be honored, shielded, and protected with intention. What was once hidden in the folds of esoteric scrolls and whispered teachings is now returning to the surface of our collective consciousness. The ancients knew what we are only beginning to remember: your body is a map, and the navel is its compass. It is the point from which your energy flows and to which it returns. To leave it exposed without awareness is to invite spiritual drift. But to cover it, to tend to it, is to stand firm in your power. So ask yourself now, not just intellectually but with your whole being, what would happen if I began to guard my center? What might awaken if I honored this sacred portal with reverence, not neglect? The answer is not in words, but in experience. You must feel it for yourself, through touch, through practice, through the quiet reclamation of ancient wisdom. And as you begin this journey, simple as wrapping cloth around your waist, as sacred as anointing your navel with oil, know this: you are not alone. You walk the same path as the mystics, sages, and healers who came before. You carry their knowing in your belly. The portal is within you. Guard it well. And let the light within it rise.